Hello everyone and welcome to round 3 of World Racing Association. We will be getting into qualifying shortly, because we are just waiting for everyone to ready up. Somewhere in Singapore. So, should be a pretty interesting race. Of course, Singapore being a street circuit, it's definitely not too much room for error. And it's going to hopefully be some very close racing, hopefully some clean racing, as he always likes to see clean racing over crashes, although crashes can be exciting. So we just wait for everyone to load in, and then yeah, we'll begin qualifying. I think the weather is. Give you the weather report in a second. Yeah, so today's race, it will be wet at the start of qualifying, but it will dry up towards the end, and it will be a fully dry race. So pretty straightforward in the race, but I wonder if we'll see anyone go out in the first part of qualifying if they know it's going to be dry later on. Maybe to get a feel for the track, but I'm not sure if anyone will go out because it will be dry later on. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if anyone does come out then. Hopefully, hopefully one or two people come out, so I don't just have to sit here and talk about nothing. Thankfully we have the one of the Alpha Tauris going out, the Norwegian boy going out. So Enzo and the Bad Boy have put on slick tyres, so I guess that means they're probably not going to be going out until the dry period. But yeah, the Norwegian boy going out. He's going to be the first one to set a lap. I think he's normally one of the first people out. And the other Alpha Tauri of Brady Pollock also going out, and Melvin going out too. Yeah, so we do have quite a few cars coming out, thankfully, so I don't have to talk about nothing and bore you guys. But yeah, so we'll have John Ag coming out, Melvin coming out, so yeah. That's 4 cars on track at the moment, and I'm sure maybe one or two more will come out. Yeah, we can see one of the Mercedes going out. Is that PMP Mac? PMP Mac is already out, and Lucas was coming out. So I would just have to wait for everyone to finish their out laps. It's a pretty long race round Singapore. About, I think in the wet, I want to say around a 1 minute 40 lap time, around that. I think probably a bit less in the dry, but it is something around that. But I guess I'll have to wait and see on how everyone's pace is as we go further into the session. Yeah, pretty much everyone coming out now. Vesta coming out, and who's that behind him is one of the Ferraris of Vice Sheng IT. So I think we do have a few drivers who drive in Tier 2, as well as drivers who drive in Tier 1 racing today. I think Vice Sheng YT drives in Tier 2, although do correct me if I'm wrong on that. As the Norwegian boy will be the first person to start a flying lap, as it is all valid. Let's watch the rundown onto 6 over to the left on the approach turn 1, but takes a lot of that curb as you can around here. You don't really have to worry too much about track limits for that first curb. Pretty good line through there. I'm sure people will go quicker, and people definitely go quicker when it dries up later on in the session. But he's looking pretty. Norwegian boy is looking pretty quick so far. Can sometimes be, if you turn into aggressively, that can be easy to spin in the wet conditions. But he handles it quite well. Takes the curb on the left hand side and handles that pretty well as well. A little lock up here and there, but it is seeming all good so far on this lap. So a few other people begin their flying laps. Coming into the next corner, a little bit wide, but still nothing nothing too bad, and pretty good line for all here. It's looking to be a solid lap from the Norwegian boy. Isn't always the quickest driver. Ah, no one is a tier 2 driver. Thank you for correcting me. We did have some tier 2 drivers last week who did all fare pretty well. And, of course, the Norwegian boy going purple in every sector, as he will be the first to finish a lap, as long as this doesn't get invalidated, as I've cursed him there, as he does invalidate. So Brady Pollock will be the first driver to cross the line. As there's yellow flags in sector 3, it is... And Lewis looks to have gone into the barrier. I wonder what's happened there. Isn't in anyone's way, as he can't have got any wing damage because he's no, he has probably got wing damage as he goes into the pit lane. As we watch Brady Pollock coming into already in the final sector. That's not Brady Pollock, that's Melvin. Brady Pollock in the final sector coming up to the last corner. Thank you, Mano. And he invalidates in just at the end, just the end part there. So still no one's yet to set a lap time. I think John Ag will be the first. So it's a 153.4. So pretty steady lap in the wet conditions, and it gets beaten by Melvin with a 152.6. And decent laps from them too. The next driver to finish the lap will be TT Forced, as he is definitely finishing this lap as he comes across the line and goes provisional pole at the moment. Of course, a lot of people still at set times, and of course we do have a dry period at the end of qualifying with a 150.7, and Avesta goes just a little bit behind with a 151.9. Vice Sheng with a 151.1. So decent laps from people who've set them so far, although the Norwegian boy's out. Let's try to see what's happened here. It's right on board with Brady. As he will just come up and has he manually... No, he seems to have hit the barrier there. So he seems to have hit the barrier there. Was he on a flying lap? I think he might have been. A lot of people do normally fuel up cars in the wet conditions to get extra laps out, and it can work. So maybe he was still on a flying lap, but the Norwegian boy is out of qualifying without setting a lap time. So I'm sure the AlphaTauri driver will not be happy with that. Appears John Ag's on a flying lap. Although he might have to pit because he does have that he does have that red fuel in the bottom right, and it seems to be drying up. It seems all the rain has stopped now. So once the track dries up a bit, and John Ag coming into the pit lane. Once the track dries up a bit, we will see everyone get all the slick tyres, and we'll definitely smash TRT Forced's provisional pole time. Why is that Leroy's... Oh, Dustley's round. Dustley seems to be round in the final sector. We did see Lewis crash a bit later on in the lap. But yeah, Dustley, luckily not out of the session, so you'll still have time to... You'll still be able to set another lap time, but he probably has wing damage. Can we see if he does? No, he doesn't. Well, nothing visible. And oh, Dustley is out. I just looked down for a second, and he's gone into the barrier. So Dustley is out of the session, and that means him and the Norwegian boy will set no laps. Yeah, it must be very frustrating for them. As PMP Mac also seems to be in the barrier, so as the track dries up, everyone going into barriers. So a lot of people having issues in this later part of the session as red, yellow flags. And toss my salad is round. What is happening in these, as the track dries up? Everyone is just going into barriers. Or at least spinning. I wonder if we'll see any more spins before everyone returns to the pit lane. As you can see from the little graphic on the side here, everyone is now putting on slick tyres, and I'm sure will be ready to go out on the slick tyres and hopefully set some faster lap times. I mean, you would hope that they could beat a 150 in the dry. As DRS now enabled, so that really could be the telling sign that it is now time for dries. Deadly Rule will just have to be careful on this little lap as he, and make sure he doesn't spin while he has those inter tyres in what is pretty much now dry conditions. So very shortly we'll see everyone come out on the softer, on the slick tyres. Sorry. Wonder if we'll see people go out on the mediums or the softs. Really depends where people think their pace is at. The medium will obviously give them the more optimal strategy of being able to do a one-stop, which obviously is definitely a lot quicker in this around this track and around most tracks in this game. But we could have a few people going out on softs to try and shake up the field, and it would definitely give the advantage to people who normally aren't coming in the top 10. Give them the advantage, and then they probably will have more chance to maybe score some good points if they make the two-stop work. As Ferrari of Vice Sheng now coming at the pit lane on the soft tyre. Interesting to see. I think a few people are just wavering whether to come out on the soft or the medium. I think you'll probably have to try and take this out lap pretty slow, or at least try to look after the tyres, which doesn't seem to be the case of what Vice Sheng is doing. Brady Pullock also on an out lap now, so I think we will start to see all the cars coming out now on the slick tyres and getting ready to sort of properly begin qualifying with only 6 minutes left. I wonder if we'll see anybody try to do 2 runs. Or maybe try to do just stay out and do a few extra runs. Of course, tyre wear big issue around Singapore, so I'm sure they will want to try and make sure their tyres have as little wear as possible. As P&P Mac is round, maybe the track's still a bit greasy, as it seems the Irishman has gone round, just coming out the pit lane. So maybe the track could be a bit greasy, or his tyres could have been cold from coming out the pit lane. I wonder what that. I wonder if P&P Max just had some issue there. Seems to be fine now, but I'm sure he'd be frustrated with that spin. He's definitely taken a bit of life out of those tyres. Almost going around again. There's Vice Sheng coming straight into the pit lane. Maybe he doesn't think it's time to start a flying lap, or maybe he got this snap and next lap invalidation. I do not know. Brady Pollock now beginning a flying lap. Pretty good line through here. Yellow flag in sector 2, P&P Mac again, it seems. Yeah, it is, he's into the barrier again. We'll definitely have to pit for wing damage now. So it's Brady Pollock, of course, going purple in the first sector, as he's the only driver to start a lap on the slick tyres. A few more people coming out now on the medium tyre. TT Force on an outlap, and Ivesta on an outlap. Also John Ike on an outlap. King Enzo as well, also on an outlap. So we'll just start to see everyone come out on the medium tyres and start their first flying laps, and PP Mac's gone around again, it seems. I wonder what is happening with PP Mac. Did he maybe make a mistake with choosing tyres, or has he just given up on this lap? I'm sure he'll come into the pits at the end of it, but anyway, now we watch Brady Pollock into the final sector now. Purple, of course, in the middle, which very unsurprising, as he's the only driver to start to do a flying lap on the slick tyres, as PP Mac now is out of the session, so he will also be another driver not to set a lap time, as Brady Pollock comes into now the final corner and comes into the pit lane. I think maybe he made a mistake somewhere along that lap. PP Mac has crashed it on pit entry, so interesting from him. So maybe Brady now thinks that he could have the pace on the mediums, as King Enzo starting his flying lap missed the apex quite badly going into turn 1, and so that will definitely lose him a bit of time. Still, he seems to still be pushing. He comes down into the next braking zone. Purple, of course, in the first sector, although I'm sure that could possibly be beaten, as there are some quicker drivers, and it wasn't also the greatest of first sectors in the world. Now, Enzo in the braking zone. He's looking pretty quick. He's looking still pretty quick though. Of course, Renault doing very well in the Constructors' Championship so far this season. Currently, I think P1, I believe. P1 in it. And so now coming into the third and final sector. Obviously going to go on provisional pole as long as he doesn't invalidate, but still looking at a decently strong lap after the mistake in turn 1. There's only 2 minutes left in the session, so everyone who hasn't set a lap time yet is really going to have to get a move on, and Brady Pollock is also going to have to get a bit of a move on his outlap. Of course he still has time, but he doesn't want to stay in the pits much longer. As he, speaking of which, he is coming out the pit lane now. As something has happened to one of the Red Bulls, it's a Vesta. He's going slowly, he appears he invalidated, and he must be frustrating as King Enzo went provisional pole. Very unsurprising. If he has enough fuel, he should be able to get around again and do one final flying lap at the end and try and get another shot, because I'm sure that time will probably be beaten, as it wasn't the strongest lap times. His teammate Lewis also on a flying lap just behind him, goes purple in the first sector. So as Aaron McFall goes P1 and then immediately gets beaten out by TNT Force, who goes who currently has provisional pole by, that is very close at the top there. So look how close that is. Yeah, under a tenth, 3/4 of a tenth. So very, very close at the top now. Now we'll continue on and wait for Lewis, who must have made a mistake on his lap as he slowed down now. Maybe he thinks, well, I don't know what he's thinking, but I'm sure he will try another lap. At the end if he has the fuel for it. Yellow flags in sector 1, 2, and 3. I missed a lap from Sosmesal and Vaisheng, both Ferraris, looking pretty strong. Vaisheng with a 134.1, just a tenth off pole position. Yeah, we will now wait for the last sort of batch of flying laps. I think a lot of people have slowed down. I think they want just one final lap at the end. Track, of course, is now probably bone dry, as I said, Leroy starting a lap on soft tyres, midway through a lap on soft tyres. King Enzo seems to be on a flying lap, so he'll get one more chance at provisional pole, but I don't think the people, I don't think a Vesta will, wait, no, where, a Vesta might not make it, no, a Vesta won't make it round for another lap. So a Vesta has had a shocker here, a 151.9 for him, and that is the end of his qualifying, so must be frustrating for the Red Bull driver. Just that invalidation cost him a lot there. So any drivers who haven't set a lap time or only have their lap time from the wet need to make sure they don't invalidate this lap. Lewis invalidated his somewhere, and that means his qualifying is over, and he also has had a bit, must be very frustrating for him as well. John Ag is qualifying. He's also over. He came to the pit lane. IZ Leroy with a 134.9 P5 at the moment. I'm sure as we wait for the next few people to finish their laps, that might be beaten. That boy finishes an invalidated lap, it seemed, and Brady Pollock, I think, will be one of the last drivers to cross the line. Tossed my salad on a lap, although he seems to run out of fuel, or is definitely low on fuel, so stay on board with him to see what he can do as he crosses the line, stays exactly where he is. King Enzo's gone round, and now it's just waiting on Brady Pollock to finish his lap. And yeah, King Enzo, luckily not on the racing line, so he's out of the way of Brady, and Brady comes across the line to go P5 with a 134.8. So that is the end of qualifying. A very strange one with the wet to dry conditions. No one really had a proper run at a lap there. I think that time could have been beaten if maybe some of the fast guys like Lewis got a clean run. Same with the Vesta, who I think was pole sitter last race, and was probably on track to win it until he made that mistake onto safety car. Yeah, we'll just wait for Lewis's AI, I think, or Lewis to come across the line, and then yeah. So that's the end of qualifying. Your pole sitter for the second time this season, I think second time. Yeah, I believe Lucas got pole in Australia. Is Lucas Forst with a 134 dead, near enough, and then of Aaron McFall very close behind him, 0.076 seconds behind him, and Vai Sheng YT makes up the top three with King Enzo P4, Brady Pollock P5, Melvin P6, IZ Leroy P7, Toss My Salad P8, John Ag P9, Lewis P10, Avesta P11, PMP Mac DNF'd along with the Norwegian boy and Dustley, and I don't think that boy set a time. Also, King Enzo did also DNF, but his time was good enough to keep him P4. So, yeah, so I guess we'll have to see, can Lucas hold off everyone else in the race? He's a very capable driver, so I'm sure he definitely has a strong chance of winning this race, although he does have another quick driver behind him in Aaron McFall. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. So now just wait for everyone to load in and begin the formation lap. Of course, select the tyres and how much fuel they want in the car. My day's going pretty well. How about yourself, Tim? As now we begin the formation lap, so I'll go through everyone's tyres. So unsurprisingly, obviously everyone who qualified in the top 10 starting on the tyre that they qualified on, apart from people who qualified on inters. I think Lewis Lewis' lap was on mediums, but he did it slowly. So yeah, obviously Lucas, everyone in the top 10 apart from IZ Leroy on softs, and below that everyone else on mediums apart from PMP Mac, who started on hards. So is he going hard medium? Of course he will have the advantage at the end. So yeah, PMP Mac will have the advantage on the end. He just needs to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes on this first stint of his, and then he could be in a chance of getting some decent points. He's shown before he's a quick driver, as Lewis and Avesta both get disqualified in the session, I assume from colliding with one another. But yeah, PMP Mac could have the advantage at the end of this race if he is quick enough and stays within the big, within maybe the mid pack and maybe he could even work his way to the front and try and get a podium. I believe he got a podium last race. But yeah, very shaken up grid. We have people who perhaps wouldn't normally be in the top 10 and people lower down who would normally be more towards the front end of the grid, like Lewis and Avesta, and also PMP Mac. Lucas getting through this formation lap pretty quickly, so I'm sure he surely wants to get this race underway and get this race start done. Predicted strategies for the people starting on mediums are either medium, soft, medium, or medium hard. Unsurprising, I think most people will be going for medium hard, as it is a hell of a lot quicker around here. And yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see on how this race start goes. I'm sure there'll probably be a collision. It is Singapore, a street circuit known for the close racing, and we've definitely had in real life as well. 2017, we've had some big collisions at the start. But hopefully everyone can make it through first few turns all clean. But I guess we'll have to wait and see now, as everyone just lining up on the grid. We will be waiting for Dusty, who seems to be the furthest car back at the moment. As now we just wait for everyone to for the session to get underway, and now we just wait for the 5 red lights to illuminate. As 1 red light, 2 red light, 3 red light, 4 red light, 5 red lights, and held for a very long time with the lights out, and we are underway. Lucas seeming to get a good launch off the line, although Weisheng, the Ferrari behind us, already gone past Aaron going into turn 1, almost it goes a bit off track there, and he's taking the lead. Lucas will fight this one back against Weisheng, and Lucas maintains the lead, but Weisheng with a wonderful start, already past Aaron, and could he maybe try to attack Lucas with this slipstream? And one of the Mercedes at the back is having issues. PMP Mac almost spinning there on the exit and down into last now. Everyone seemed to made it through cleanly. I didn't see anyone get any wing damage. Lewis losing out positions at the start, same with the Vesta, and Lewis now gaining 2, so Lewis with Lewis makes a bit of contact, and Lewis is almost round, holds it, but he does have wing damage now. Lewis into last place, made contact with, I think that was one of the Alfa Romeos, possibly one of the Alfa Tauris too. But yeah, so that is very frustrating for Lewis, as he's definitely a title contender, and now he's gone from 10th to last on the opening lap. Lucas trying to pull away from Weisheng here, 5-6 tenths clear, and well, we see Lewis going to the pit lane. How bad is that wing damage? Seems to be both end plates gone, so that is very it's going to be very annoying for Lewis, as he definitely has a chance, probably had a chance of getting some decent points, but it's going to be a lot more difficult unless there is, of course, a safety car now. Does the Norwegian boy also have wing damage? It seems like he does, yeah, both end plates. I think he must have been caught up in that collision with Lewis. So, yeah. I'm sure there must be a glitch with the time. Yeah, glitch with the timing as normal. It says Melvin's P2 when he's not P2, but yeah. Good job from Lucas to, he's pulled a bit of a gap to Weisheng and Aaron. A few people ghosting. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is. I think there might be a bit of a glitch with the game, but hopefully it will sort itself out shortly. As yeah, unsurprisingly, Lewis and the Norwegian boy coming into the pit lane as the game begins to sort itself out. Yep, and it's all fixed now. So I wonder what strategies we're going to see these two go on to. Lewis goes into the hards and the Norwegian boy goes into the mediums. I think Lewis is going to try and last those hards as long as he possibly can, and the safety car would help him out a lot. Tizzy Forced already nearly 7 tenths clear of Weisheng behind, and he's already pulling a decent advantage there. I'm sure when DRS is activated, this might become a tad bit of a train. Can be hard sometimes to overtake around here, but still is definitely possible. Both Alfa Romeo's getting very close, and it seems like Baboy tried to make a move on his teammate, John Ag. Baboy has a lack of wing damage, has a lack of front wing, and the Norwegian boy's out, and there's a safety car. Let me just see, he seems to have glitched into the barrier or something there. I hope, seems to be a big impact from the Norwegian boy there. But that has saved Lewis's race, really. So the man who he collided with, has sort of helped Lewis out a lot there, because now Lewis can catch up from the back of the pack and we'll still have a chance of scoring points. Also, I wonder if we'll see Batboy. Yep, we will see Batboy going to the pit lane now. I assume to change that broken front wing. Same with Isaac Leroy. I wonder did he also get involved with any contact on the start? Maybe the incident with Lewis. As I think everyone in this queue now will just want to make sure they don't get too close to anyone and don't make any contact. It's not that hard to do, and if they do it, they'll have to serve it in the pit stop, and it'll be very frustrating for them, and most likely ruin their races. They'll have to wait an extra 5 seconds in their pit stop. So we will just wait for everyone to catch up with the back of the pack now. Lewis still in last despite Isaac Leroy and Batboy pitting, which is to be expected as they did it under safety car, and Lewis did it under normal racing conditions. It is now definitely a tough task for the Scotsman to come back and get points, but he is a very good driver. So could we still do it? Could we still see it happen? Possibly, and I guess only time will tell in this race. Still a lot of laps ahead of him, but safety car definitely helping out Lewis a lot. TC Force might not wanted that, as he was starting to pull a gap to Vice Sheng and Aaron. So I'm sure I probably would have just sort of wanted to stay clear of them and stay ahead, but this safety car isn't really helpful for Lucas, as he was definitely pulling away from the other two behind. Interestingly enough, it appears Aaron is in negative fuel. Whether he started the race in lower fuel or not, or if he's just burned a lot of the start or didn't put much fuel in the car, he is in negative fuel. So he'll have to do I'm sure he'll probably gain a lot of it back on the safety car, but he will have to do a bit saving fuel around here. He doesn't want to run out of fuel before the end of the race. So Isaac Leroy and Batboy have now caught up to the back of the pack, and interestingly enough, I don't know if PMP Bank accidentally overtook Dustley and Avesta, but he has just given up 2 free positions. So I don't really know what the Mercedes driver is doing, but it's very odd. Safety car will probably come in, I assume, next lap. Maybe Lewis has a bit too much fuel in this car, as he seems to be trying to burn some here. It's interesting. We have Aaron on not enough fuel and Lewis on too much fuel. Only drivers to make pit stops are Batboy, Isaac Leroy and Lewis, and Norwegian Boy, but he did DNF. If we look at the position changes now, Vice Sheng up 1 and Aaron down 1, them two switching round. Same with Brady Pollock and Enzo, and Melvin's held position on the first few laps, which is pretty good. Him P6 would be a decent result, as safety car is now in this lap, so we will be back underway racing shortly. But Thomas Messard up 1 position, John Ang up 1, Avesta up 2, and Dustley up 4 already, so good start for the McLaren driver. PMP Mac up 1, Batboy up 3, Isaac Leroy down 6, and Lewis down 4. So so we will get TT Force to get us underway shortly for the restart. Of course, going to have to wait a bit and wait for the safety car to come in. As this could be definitely an interesting restart. I'm sure there might be a collision or two along the way. But he's definitely taking it slowly at the moment, going at about 50 miles per hour, trying to heat up his tyres. Now, safety car in the pit lane, and it seems Lucas has bolted now. caught Weisheng a little bit off guard, but one man who hasn't been caught off guard, Aaron, does warm up and tires like normal down the straight. And TT4 still maintaining lead on the restart, so he hasn't been caught out at all there. Weisheng was caught out a bit by Lucas's initial bolt, but he's still maintaining position and is losing a bit of time now, and same with Aaron behind. John Ag now looking to size up a move on Toss My Salad. Alfa Romeo versus Ferrari, who's going to come out on top, and he's not going to be close enough, although he is close enough, and he does make the dive, does collide with him a bit and pushes Toss My Salad off track. Can he get the move done as Toss My Salad fights back and goes very wide now? Avesta getting in on the move for almost 3 wide there, and Avesta gets a move on both of them, and John Ag also now still trying to fight with Toss My Salad and gets the move done on Toss My Salad. Brilliant move from Avesta there, who's capitalised on those two scrapping away, and now up into P7. So 2 moves at once for Avesta. So great job from the Red Bull driver, who's didn't have the greatest of qualifying sessions, and he's definitely fighting his way back now. And there are yellow flags at the back for some reason. I'm not sure what that is for, but Lewis has got past IZ Leroy now, and I think has IZ Leroy, did they collide? Maybe yes, it seems like they might have, as IZ Leroy does have wing damage on that front right. Was that his own fault or was it Lewis's? I guess I missed that one, but we'll probably see after the race if Lewis gets a penalty, if it was anything to do with him, or it might just been a mistake from IZ Leroy that let Lewis get past. But now Lucas pulling away from Weisheng by a lot now, almost 7 tenths clear, and gets the fast lap of the race with a 1:39.9. A penalty for Dustley as he gets another warning and now has a 3-second time penalty. IZ Leroy coming into the pit lane to change his tyres and a front wing, and his front wing. But I don't know what happened there, if Melvin let his teammate by, or if Avesta got a legitimate move done. But Avesta is now the lead Red Bull driver. Maybe Melvin thought Avesta had more pace and just decided to let him by and not hold up his teammate. But Avesta will now get the chance to go at the Renault of King Enzo ahead, as everything sorts to start to settle down on after that pretty hectic restart with some brilliant moves from Avesta Racing. Definitely looking to make up for last weekend when a glitch caused him to spin on safety car restart. So I'm sure the Red Bull driver will want to make up for that, as now he's chasing King Enzo down the straight. Will probably be too far back to make a move. No, he's not. What a dive that is from him. And almost will he get it done? King Enzo will fight back, will have the inside line down the next corner, but this will be an extraordinary, brilliant move from Avesta. I thought it was too far back there to get the move done, as there's another 3-second time penalty. And this time it is for P&P Mac. But a brilliant move from Avesta, the latest of the late breakers, very Daniel Ricciardo-esque, as he I thought was way too far back to get the move done, but clearly not from his, clearly he didn't think he was too far back to get the move done. Now we'll have a run at Brady Pollock. So Avesta isn't too far away from the podium. Yeah, very good restart from Avesta, as he's up 6 positions already. So I think he started the restart on like P10 or around there, and now he's up to P5. So I'm sure he'll be very happy with that. That boy now very close to the back of P&P Mac. P&P Mac will go to the inside to defend, but is the move already done, as we were running more with Lewis to see these two, and they do bang wheels, and Bad Boy will have to yield and not get the move done. P&P Mac seems to be struggling for pace on those hard tyres, older hard tyres as well, as he's had those on since the start of the race, but almost a good move from Bad Boy, but he did just, P&P Mac had the inside line and managed to keep the position in the end. I'm sure Lewis will want to get past both of these two as quickly as possible. But yeah, Avesta has lightning quick pace. He's used a lot of ERS, but he's still very quick, and he's already gained a lot of time on Brady Pollock. And want to get this move done sooner rather than later. As now he will have the DRS for the next straight, as Brady Pollock makes a little mistake. Avesta did too, but he did make less of a mistake, I suppose. Brady Pollock now will have to try and defend from Avesta, already taking up the inside line, although will it be too late? Red Bull versus AlphaTauri, and the Red Bull gets that move done very easily. And Avesta will probably be able to run at the top 3 sooner rather than later. As he's already within, well, he's within 3 seconds, but if he closes up to them at the pace that he did to everyone else, then it'll only be a couple laps and he'll be right on the back of them. I think we did just move Aaron. I think we did just miss Aaron trying to make a move on Weisheng there, as the Ferrari driver makes a little bit of a mistake there on the exit of that corner. But yeah, it's been clean from the top 3 so far, and Vesta already gaining 3 temps on them. Of course, not having any traffic and not no dirty air will give him a bit of an advantage until he closes up a bit more. But still, Vesta looking lightning quick so far. As closest battle on track, so it seems to be Tos Massad and John Ag. John Ag won't have DRS down this next straight, so could Tos Massad have a run at him here? Both drivers with a little ERS, but Tos Massad will be too far back. I think Aaron is in a bit of a sticky situation, as Weisheng also having DRS on Lucas means that he can't really get a move done. So if Aaron has the pace, he could try and maybe save some of his ERS and launch a proper attack on the Ferrari driver ahead. But for the time being, he's just having to sit behind in DRS. And I think it'll be interesting to see if one of these drivers goes for an undercut. I think if Aaron goes for an undercut and gets it right, he could very easily come out in the lead of this race. But he is also going to have to make sure that he doesn't go into any traffic. As he's very close now to the back of Weisheng, both activating ERS. Of course, with DRS giving them a bit more speed down the straight. Aaron now looking to make the move around the outside. Now with the inside line for the next corner, and seems to get the move done. Pushes Weisheng a little bit wide, still side by side going into the next turn. As Aaron pushed out a little bit wide and doesn't get the move done for now. PMP Mac and Dustley scrapping away as PMP Mac almost spins but does catch it in the end. But yeah, the one battle with a Mercedes, not really with a Mercedes involved at the front, but yeah, battles all over the track at the moment as Bad Boy looking to get a move done and gets the move done on PMP Mac. A little slide on the exit of the corner for style, I guess. But gets the move done, and Lewis now getting a move on done on PMP Mac, as maybe those hard tyres are just starting to die off a bit, as I did say earlier on that if he wants to make that strategy work with the hard tyres, he's going to have to make sure he can stay with the pack, which he is doing, to be fair. And will obviously have pace against all these medium runners from, well, Dusty to Force. But yeah, so he will have a lot more pace, of course, at the end of the race with medium tyres, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how that goes. As Avesta now, Aaron, sorry, pitting. Avesta not getting a move done, but Aaron now looking to go for an undercut on, I assume, Weisheng and TSC Forced, and look at the pace that Avesta's had. He's already within 7 tenths of Weisheng. It's only been a few laps, and he's just so quick from Avesta at this opening stage of the race. If he can continue that pace onto mediums, it would be a very unlikely race win for Avesta. As he's definitely the quickest driver on track at the moment. Don't know if he has fastest lap or not, but still incredible praise from the Ukrainian. I believe he's Ukrainian. I think so. But so I'm sure he'll want to get past Weisheng sooner rather than later, and it'll be interesting to see if we see Lucas pit at the end of this lap as to try and defend from the undercut from Aaron, or if we see Weisheng or Vesta pit. Although with the pace that Vesta has, I don't think the undercut will really affect him too much. Plus Aaron was already ahead of him. Good news for Aaron though, he's come out in 12 seconds worth of space, so he won't have to worry about getting blocked at all. All he needs to do is just focus on getting maximum pace out of that racing point, and then maybe he could be on could be in P1 come when the top 3 make their pit stops. There's the 4 temps behind Weisheng. Weisheng now falling out of Lucas Force's DRS. So will Avesta have the opportunity? He's had a pretty sloppy final sector here from Avesta. as Vesta might try and overcut here and try to overcut Lucas and Weisheng, but Lucas has sped into the pit lane. That will affect his race greatly as Lucas Force speeds into the pit lane, giving him a 5-second time penalty. So that, and John Angle's speeding into pit lane, but that will affect him greatly as even if Aaron doesn't come out ahead of him, which he might, I think Aaron will just be a bit too far behind. Might get Weisheng though. As Aaron goes purple in the final sector, yeah, he gets Weisheng and he might just be too far back. No, he's close enough to, and he gets past Lucas Forrest. He was close enough and gets past as well. So Aaron now in the net race lead, unless Avesta can pull a wonderful undercut here. I mean, sorry, overcut. Then Aaron is in the net race lead, although Avesta did have incredible pace. So you can't really rule them out as Lewis and Dusty fighting the both Renault powered cars. Of course, it doesn't matter though with these equal cars. But yeah, both Renault powered cars fighting as Lewis looking to make them move very close to the barrier there, as that barrier does just stick out a little bit. But these two scrapping away, and I'm sure Lewis doesn't want to stay behind Dusty much longer, as Dusty was in P10. So if Lewis gets past, then he is in what will become P10 once he pits, as John Ag pits, and he also did get a 5 second for speeding in the pit lane. So that does mean that Lewis is, I'm not sure if Lewis was already ahead of him, but if he wasn't, then he will be ahead, not on track, but he will be ahead on penalties, as Lewis is yet to get a penalty this race. So very good driving from the Scotsman, looking to recover after that lap 1 incident where he had both his front right end plates taken off. As now Melvin coming into the pit lane, so Avesta staying out for yet another lap, and Melvin gets a 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane, as Dusty gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Lewis stays out, of course on the harder tyres, he can go longer on them, and I assume we'll probably pit onto the mediums later on this race. PMP Mac gets another 3 second time penalty. Bat Boy very, very close to the back of Toss Masala, and might have even made a bit of contact. Has he got any wing damage? It sort of looked like it from off board. No, he doesn't have any wing damage, but he doesn't want to stay behind Toss Masala for much longer, surely not. So we'll probably be too far back to make a move. I don't want to predict anything like that, as earlier I predicted that, and good move from Bat Boy there, is just going down the inside. Earlier I predicted that, and Vesta made a dive bomb from very far back, but good move from Bat Boy to get into a currently P4, although I'm not sure that'll be come the time when they pit. But Salad having Wi-Fi issues, it seems, and lagging all over the track, but Lewis is clear of him now, and that's good for Lewis's race. He's got past Sasma Salad now, and I'm sure he'll be thankful for that. Lewis just needs to make sure he doesn't speed into the pit lane. We've seen a lot of people do it today, and if he does it, then well, it will sort of lose him the advantage of not having any penalties. But yeah, he just needs to make sure he doesn't speed and just keeps his pace below, I think 37 miles per hour. I think that is the time. I think that is the speed of the pit lane, 37 miles per hour. As Lewis gets a 3 second time penalty. Aaron goes quickest, so it's going to be close. Well, no, it's not going to be close. Aaron comes out ahead of Avesta, although with Avesta going longer on those mediums, surely we'll have a pace advantage on the hard tyres now, as Weisheng gets a 3 second time penalty. Let's have a look at the penalties now, actually. Yeah, so penalties for everyone. Lewis with a 3 second, PMP Mac with a 6 second, Aaron with no penalties, TNT Force with 8 seconds, Weisheng with 3 seconds, and then Melvin with 5 seconds, John Ag with 5 seconds, Dusty with 8 seconds, and Tosh Masad and Isaac Lear both for 3 seconds each. So, definitely a lot of penalties from every driver here, but interesting to see. It is going to be really a race of whoever can get the least penalties. That might be what it's decided on, as Aaron definitely has the big advantage to Lucas and Weisheng, not only being ahead on track, but even if they did get past ahead on penalties too. He just needs to keep, of course, the German and the Irishman behind. So they're going to have to worry about Avesta, who is closing in on them yet again. He's already showed his pace a lot today, and of course no penalties as well, so there is a chance that Vesta could go on to win this race as well. But I guess we will have to wait and see, and Enzo will surely be pitting this lap. He's gone 12 laps on those mediums, stays out another lap, so Enzo, surprisingly, for every other races, he's been in the pit lane non-stop, as I think he's had about, I think last two races a combined total of like probably around 16 pit stops, something like that. But he seems to be avoiding the pit lane now, as still gets pit in this race. I said Leroy is slowly but surely catching up to the back of Toss My Salad after after breaking his front wing and having to pit for that. So he is showing some decent pace from where I said Leroy, still in last. Well, last apart from the Norwegian boy who DNF'd, but another 3 second time penalty for P&P Mac. As yeah, 54 right up the back of Aaron, and well, there could be a very, if P&P Mac holds up Aaron here on those 13 lap old hards, he could hold up Aaron here and give his teammate the advantage. So is that going to be what P&P Mac is going to do? Of course, at the moment he's giving him DRS, but he needs to, if P&P Mac could hold up Aaron and give his teammate the advantage and possibly net race lead. So Aaron really needs to clear his teammate as Aaron gets his first penalty of the race, and that means now he's on level penalties with Vaisheng. However, Avesta closing in on them now. If Avesta can get past Vaisheng, and get within and keep no penalties, he can he definitely has a high chance of winning this race as long as he can get within 3 seconds of Aaron. Yeah, P&P Mac just holding up Aaron really as much as he can, and giving his teammate every opportunity to overtake, as it is really a well, 2 black Mercedes and a pink Mercedes. So Aaron will definitely use as much of his overtakes as possible, and gets past P&P Mac. P&P Mac slowing down just to let his teammate by. So he was trying to hold up Aaron, but it hasn't worked as Aaron has now got past with the use of DRS. And I'm sure P&P Mac will just want to try and hold on to the back of his teammate, although he is already out of DRS range. So yeah, I wonder if he'll hold up Vaisheng at all. Dusty now scrapping away with John Ag and getting the move done. So good move from Dusty. I think both these drivers have 5 second penalties. Yeah, Dusty has an extra 3 seconds for corner cutting or track limits. As Bad Boy taking the current lead of the race. Of course he won't keep it, as he will have to pit again. But yeah, taking the lead of the race, so he'll lead for a few laps ahead of Enzo. Now, will Enzo pit this lap? It's been 14, nearly 15 laps on those mediums. They must be very dead now. Yeah, he does come into the pit lane. And Lewis moves up into P2. And yeah, so Lewis and Batboy, the only people yet to make their final pit stop, or sort of final. I guess there are a few people who need to pit again, like Dustley and a few others. So we're just over halfway through this race now, and it's definitely shaping up to be a good one, with Aaron and Lucas battling away as there's an issue for Avesta. Something has happened to Avesta as he just clipped the barrier there. He does have front right end plate damage, so he's going to lose a lot of time and possibly have to pit again. So that's so unfortunate for Avesta. He was looking so quick and probably had a chance to win this race, and for a second week in a row he's had issues, and that means that he probably has lost a lot of his chance to win this race. Avesta will surely have to pit again for a new front wing, as he just is letting Brady Pollock by. Good of Avesta not to hold up anyone. So a very difficult day for Red Bull yet again. But what went on from Red Bull looking to possibly have a driver who could win the race to, well, breaking their front wing, and they'll have to pit now. As he does just let Melvin by. As, Aaron closing onto the back of Lewis. Wonder if Lewis will hold these drivers up at all. I'm not actually sure how the championship's looking, but if Lewis is smart, I'll have a look at it now. But if Lewis is smart, he might just hold up. Wait, no. He'll probably try to hold up both of them, as Aaron's currently leading the drivers' championship, and Racing Point are the closest team to Renault in the championship, with just 1 point behind. So I'm sure Lewis will probably try to hold up Aaron as much as he can, and so I hope that the Ferrari Vice Shen can get past both of them. As Verstappen coming in and pitting for soft tyres, so he'll probably be going for a fastest lap of the race. As he definitely has lost a lot of chance of winning the race unless there is a safety car. As Lewis does just begin to hold up Aaron, although Aaron not really close enough to make a move on Lewis, so he might let him go. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose. Lucas just almost falling out of DRS range, slightly above a second behind. Will he be able to claw back that very little time that he needs to get back into DRS range of Aaron? Aaron, of course, within DRS range of Lewis, so... Yeah, Lucas now out of DRS, so Aaron... Will he be able to make a move on... No, he would be too far back to make the move on Lewis. As Brady Pollock gets past PMP Max comes to the pit lane for his first pit stop? Yeah, for his first pit stop. And Aaron gets another 3-second time penalty, so that's one more, and then he's gonna... yeah, one more, and he's gonna have more penalties than Lucas, so he's gonna have to be a bit careful now. And Aaron, if Vice Shen finds some more pace, then he could still have a shout of winning this race, really, as he has only a 3-second time penalty. Leroy coming into the lane. Zavesta will start what I assume to be trying to do a fast lap, I assume. Otherwise I don't really see any other reasoning for him to go onto the soft tyre. As Lucas not losing too much time to Aaron now, as Aaron is a bit caught behind Lewis, but still out of that DRS range. Enzo's pretty close now to the back of John. Could he try and make a move down this straight? Might be a bit too far back. Goes for it anyway, and the Renault driver pushes him a bit wide, and might gonna have the inside line for the next corner. And John trying a switch back, but Enzo gets the move done. Has he got the move done? He will hold the inside line out here, and yeah, does get the move done. So yes, King Enzo, well, the man with no penalties at the moment, so he's going to have the advantage if he can close up to Dustley and Melvin ahead, because I think that both those drivers have a 5-second time penalty. As Aaron, because Lewis is in Bat Boy's DRS, Aaron probably isn't going to be able to make a move and is going to get held up a lot by Lewis and Bat Boy. As surely Lewis and Bat Boy will probably come to the pit lane shortly, as Vestager gets a fastest lap, a 1:35.9, decent lap for him. And there's a fast lap for the Red Bull driver, who has been pretty quick all race. Lucas now back into DRS range of Aaron, so Aaron getting the dirty air off Lewis and not being able to overtake Lewis and being held up is definitely giving him a disadvantage now, as Lucas will probably be able to be in DRS for the next straight and hopefully for his sake close up. Although he still is just ever so slightly out of DRS range. He's back in it. Well, guess we'll have to wait and see as the detection point comes up. He is out of DRS still, so he's gonna lose even more time down this next straight, as Aaron will be looking to make a move on Lewis, still too far back for the Irishman. But there is of course another DRS straight, and Lewis is now out of DRS, so I don't think Lewis will be able to fight this one. I don't really see any way that Lewis will be able to fight this one. He's not using any overtake mode. No, he's using overtake mode. And side by side, Aaron gets the move done. So Lewis is in P3, but he's going to have to pit again. So even though it looks good at the moment for Lewis, it really isn't. As yellow flags, as I think Avesta will be retiring from the session. As Avesta manually retires from the session, and that causes a virtual safety car. Oh no, no, that is because PNP Mac has crashed and is out of the session as well. So two DNFs at once, and I said Leroy goes into the barrier, gets the braking all wrong there, and breaks his front wing. So unfortunate for him. And I wonder if we'll see him retire. As back underway racing, as Aaron is going to have to try and get past Bad Boy as quickly as humanly possible. As Lewis pit. No, Lewis has lost out a lot there. As something happened to Lewis. He's lost out a lot. He was very close. He was still pretty close to Lucas and Vaisheng, and he was very close to the back of Bad Boy. But I wonder if something has happened to Lewis there. He seems to be going around a lot slower than normal. Oh, he's got wing damage. I wonder how that happened. Missed it, but yeah. Has he had an instant with Lucas? It appears he's had an instant with Lucas, and that has pretty much handed the race to Aaron. So it's pretty clear that Lewis and Lucas have had some sort of incident. Both drivers having front wing damage. Maybe that was why the virtual safety car was there. So I wonder I'm very sorry that I missed that, but I wonder what's happened there. Both drivers having some sort of incident, and will pretty much mean that Lucas, for the second week running, has had some bad luck that's put him out of the chance of winning a race. He was very unlucky in Vietnam. As Aaron will want to get past Bad Boy as quickly as possible down this next straight. As he doesn't really need to worry too much about Vaisheng, but if he gets too many penalties, then he's just going to make sure he has a big enough gap, and especially any safety cars at the end will be very annoying for Aaron, as he does have an extra 3-second time penalty compared to... oh wait, no, Vaisheng must have got a 3-second time penalty somewhere, as both of them now on 6 seconds of penalties. So if there is a safety car, Brady Pollock would have the net race lead. And Brady Pollock is in a net podium. Qualified P5, and he's up one position, and he's in essentially what is going to be a podium when Bat Boy ends up pitting. So brilliant race from Brady Pollock today. And I wonder if we'll see Aaron try to make a move down this next straight. He doesn't really need to, as he's got a big enough gap to Vaisheng to not really have to worry about it. Yellow flags, as I think Dusty will probably be coming in. Oh, Dusty's made a mistake down the final straight. And as has he broken his front wing? Judging from the way he's getting out of the yeah, he's broken his front wing. So many people breaking their front wings on this track today, and he's almost spinning at the exit of that corner, so maybe his tyre's still a bit hot. I think he might have spun out of the last corner. I didn't see what happened, but McLaren driver having issues. Avesta has now left the session. Aaron's still too far back to make a move, but he's still pulling away from Wei Sheng. So, as it stands, as long as Aaron makes no mistakes, he has this race in the bag, and he just needs to hope there's no safety cars or anything like that, and then Aaron has really a race win. Which will be, very good for him. It'll mean that he has that'll mean that he has 2 race wins in a row. And I think he got podium in the first race, I think. Dusty going very slowly. Did he just hit the barrier again? He might have. Aaron's still struggling to get a move done on Bat Boy. He doesn't really need to, but I'm sure he'd definitely take the pressure off if he did get past the Alfa Romeo. As if he does make a mistake on brakes or anything like that, then he might go into the back of the Alfa Romeo. Surely he'll be close enough here. As yeah, definitely close enough. Out brakes him, gets pushed off the track by Bad Boy. He might get a warning for that, for track limits. And side by side with Bad Boy, he might try a switch back here. His yellow flag's in sector 3, and that is a safety car! Dusty is out of the session, and just exactly what Aaron did not want, really, probably didn't want. Has happened. And we are going to just wait. We can't really see what Dusty did, but Dusty had wing damage, so has he just made one final mistake that means he's now out of the session? And that is really frustrating for Aaron. I wonder if we'll come see anyone pit for mediums. It's definitely going to be a better strategy. Maybe Aaron might. I think maybe some of the people at the back might as well pit for mediums, especially if they're like the likes of Toss My Salad, because they now have a massive advantage over everyone else who has very worn, hard tyres ahead. But yeah, we will have something that really will spice up the race a bit. 4 DNFs so far. And Bad Boy gets a 5-second penalty for speeding into pit lane. Aaron also comes into the pit lane. Doesn't speed when he enters the pits, but I assume will be put on the medium tyres. He goes onto the softs. So Aaron thinks he can last those softs to the end. As Brady Pollock, that is very unfortunate for Brady. He had no penalties, but now he does have penalties after going into the pit lane. So yeah, I didn't realise, but yeah, soft tyres can probably make it to the end now. As you only have to do about 8 laps on them. So everyone will be coming into the pit lane on for softs. I wonder if anyone will just stay out and get track position. Brady not confident enough in his tyre managing ability to go onto the softs, and a few people are going onto the mediums. For example, Melvin. But Toss My Salad has chosen to take track position. So he's gonna have to try and defend for his life at the end. At the end of this race. He's got a net currently P3. Don't know why I said net P3. And he has the least penalties of anyone close to him. Only King Enzo and John Ike have less. So he's kept it very clean, and that could help it. That could provide him with a possible not race win, but definitely keep him up a few positions compared to people like Lucas who have so many penalties. I say almost everyone coming into the pits to change their tyres. That safety car has helped Bat Boy so much. It went from probably getting like probably minor points to now currently P1, and he has less penalties than Aaron. So if he can just hold Aaron behind, which is no easy task, it's definitely easier said than done. If he can just hold Aaron behind, then he possibly could win this race, and we could have a new race winner. So that'd be 3 new winners from 3 races. But yeah, so we'll have to wait and see for when the safety car comes in. Sure, it'll be a lap or 2 from now, but it will be interesting to see how this race ends. So yeah, Lucas stays out on his mediums along with Lewis. So those two drivers are not really going to be gaining an advantage on pace, but they do have an advantage with track position. Lewis didn't get much. I'm very quite confused on how Lucas and Lewis have come out so differently. They weren't that close to be. Actually, no. To be fair, they weren't that close on track. They were about 6 seconds gap, but that was it probably would have been better if Lewis just pit for softs. So, Lewis getting a bit too eager and already going past Toss My Salad, and he hasn't given the position back, interestingly enough. Has something happened to Toss My Salad here? I don't know if he's letting people pass or what, but he's went from P3 to P6. Going back past Braid, he seems to be lagging all over the track. It's very strange what's happening now. The Welsh Wi-Fi not doing him any good. As he's now in the barrier. What is happening here? Very strange for the Ferrari driver. And it's very disappointing too, as he went from, well, P3 to P10. What was also a net race lead as well, as he had less penalties than the two drivers ahead. So, although I'm sure on those hard tyres he would have lost a lot of time and probably not been able to stay at the back of Aaron and Bad Boy, and probably would also have to defend from, you know, the likes of Lucas and Weisheng too. I wonder, as long as the safety car doesn't come in this lap, I wonder if safety car is going to stay out for another lap. I wonder if Toss My Salad is going to now stay out. I mean, no, sorry, is now going to pit for softs, because he's lost the advantage of track position, and he'll probably be able to regain the time and get back up to the back of the pack. So I wonder if he will now pit for softs. It will probably sort of help him a bit, but I guess we'll have to wait and see as he yep, he does now come into the pit lane. So as predicted, he will now pit for softs. As Leroy got a 3 second time penalty for cutting corners under safety car, so pretty interesting there. And he now go onto the soft tyre and try to have a run at everyone else. His tyres will be a bit less worn, but it doesn't really make much difference as they've only done laps under safety car. So I'd assume that the safety car will be coming in this lap, which means we'll have I think 5 racing laps till the end, which I'm sure will be very intense. As I may have spoke too soon earlier, as I said Lucas now had no chance of winning the race. Well, Lucas is backing it up into P3, so that safety car, the Mercedes driver, wonders, and still a chance at a podium. He does of course have so many penalties, 11 seconds compared to everyone else around him, which is about 5-6 seconds more than everyone else around him. So he's gonna have to do some pulling away if he wants to keep that podium, but on track he could get a podium, which would be pretty good from the German to recover after getting that wing damage. Yeah, the running order. Bat Boy surprisingly P1 due to the safety car and everyone picking for softs. Aaron P2, Lucas P3, Weisheng P4, Brady Pollock P5, Melvin P6, King Enzo P7, Lewis P8, John Ag P9, IZ Leroy P10, and Toss My Salad P11. So that's the running order before the safety car ends, and safety car does now end this lap. But I wonder what it will be after these 5 laps. It's going to certainly be interesting. So Bat Boy just warming up his tyres. Aaron not really warming them up that much, although they are pretty cold from what I can see on the dash. About 70 degrees, and he does now warm them up. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get caught out from when the safety car comes in and when Bat Boy bolts. because it is easy to happen to if you are warming up your tyres while the driver in front goes, and it can be frustrating. His bad boy now does go, and he's bolted, and he has actually caught Aaron a bit off guard. 4 attempts clear, although Aaron will now warm up his tyres down the straight as he normally does. Very classic Aaron thing to do. Enzo gets past Melvin, although Melvin will fight this one back and makes contact with King Enzo, and luckily doesn't spin around, although might have a tad bit of wing damage. Lewis also getting past, so now the runners up into P6 and P7. So pretty good recovery for Lewis then, after, you know, getting wing damage. And Lucas finding it difficult to catch up, stayed on the back of the two soft tyre runners, and now he's just defending against Wai Sheng YT, who of course has the tyre advantage. If you're Aaron and Batboy, you just want Lucas to defend as much as he possibly can, and then them two can pull an advantage over Aaron. Aaron needs to get past Batboy and then pull a gap of 1 second, otherwise Batboy will win this race, as Batboy is actually pulling away. So could we see an unlikely winner? Could we see a very unlikely winner after the man qualified very low down? I don't even think he set lap time. I think he qualified, well, it was either P14 or, no, it was P15. So could we see a last of first from the Alfa Romeo driver? But of course he still has, you know, the task of holding back Aaron behind. And when DRS is activated, I'm sure Aaron will definitely have a lot more of an advantage. Although if Batboy can just stick in Aaron's DRS, if Aaron does get past, then we could see a very unlikely winner. So we'll watch everyone just go for him. And I think if you're Batboy here, you are kicking yourself a lot, as he got that penalty from speeding in the pit lane, and if he didn't do that, he would, well, pretty much have this race wrapped up and just have to drive normally. Wai Sheng YT now gets past Lucas in the braking zone, although Lucas not fighting that too much, but yeah, so now Lucas down a position, although he will definitely lose a lot of positions at the end due to the 11 seconds of penalties that he has. Although speaking of which, Wai Sheng also has 9 seconds of penalties, so if he does catch up to the back of Aaron, he he will have to get past and pull a 3-second gap. As King Enzo now still looking to make a move on Brady Pollock, as Aaron still within a second of Batboy, but he's really finding it difficult to overtake. I think until DRS is activated, it will be very difficult for him to overtake. There's not really any moves happening on track at the moment. Everyone within about a second of each other, or a bit more. But Aaron clips the barrier, and Aaron gets a free set. That is the oddest penalty I've ever seen. What is Aaron doing? He clipped the barrier, and I'm not too sure what Aaron doing, but that has given Batboy the a very big chance of winning the race. Gap to him is, the closest driver is 2.4 seconds, but yeah, the closest driver with less penalties than him is Enzo, and Enzo is, well, Enzo's 4 seconds back, so Enzo if Enzo could, hang on, could Enzo actually win this race? If he gets within 2 seconds, no, he's probably not gonna. If Enzo gains 2 seconds, or nearly 3 seconds now, then he could. But Batboy could be on his way to his maiden win. He just needs to, for these next 2-3 laps, just hold out and make sure Wai Sheng doesn't get too close, which he's doing quite well. I'm so confused on what happened to Aaron there, as he got a penalty for cutting the corner. It's very odd. It's very odd. Now he is on level peggings on penalty-wise with Wai Sheng, and that means that Brady Pollock might get a podium along with Enzo as well, so that'd be very good for the AlphaTauri and the Renault driver. Of course, they are all the drivers very close together in a bit of a DRS train. I wonder if Lewis will want to get past his teammate. both on equal number of penalties, although I think Lewis is higher up in the championship. Although don't quote me on that, although Enzo has had some good races. So I'm not 100% sure about that, but Weisheng gets another penalty, and that just means there's more and more chance that the likes of all the drivers who kept it pretty clean, like Enzo and Lewis and Melvin, it's giving them more chance of a podium. I genuinely can't call who's going to get on the podium due to all the penalties, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. As Bad Boy is really cruising, and he just needs to hold out for these last 2 laps and not make any mistakes. As Iceland will coming in and probably go for a fastest lap. Put onto some soft tyres. He's probably going to go for a fast lap then. Yeah, definitely. Melvin gets a 3-second time penalty, so that might just rule them out of getting the podium a bit. But due to Aaron getting that extra penalty and Weisheng and Lucas all having that many penalties, it's going to be very close at the end of the race. And it might just be put down to whoever's just kept it the cleanest penalties wise. One man who's kept it very clean and been very lucky with the strategies that he's pulled today is this man Bad Boy, who just needs to have one last lap of just driving. He doesn't even need to be that quick. He's already has a lot less penalties than Weisheng, and he's already very far clear of Weisheng, so he literally just needs to do this lap just with no mistakes and no penalties. So yeah, Bad Boy could be on to, I think, a maiden win, and we could have a third different race winner in 3 races, which is very good for the championship side of things and racing and everything like that. And so sort of losing a bit of time to Brady now, so soft tyres might just be starting to die a bit. So Aaron clips the barrier there, has visible wing damage. Maybe that was why he slowed down. He has visible wing damage, and I think that I'm not sure if I missed that when he clipped the barrier earlier. But he does have wing damage now, and that's a front right end plate gone. We've seen a lot of those gone today. But yeah, so Aaron just needs to really try and defend against Lucas behind. He'll get him on penalties, but he doesn't really want to be losing too many positions. As well, he just wouldn't be good for him. Although he's probably going to lose this podium anyway to all the drivers behind who have been a lot cleaner with their lack of corner cutting. As now Bad Boy entering the final sector, just right on board as we just wait for him to come across the line very shortly. Still, 64 still very close to the back of Aaron, and of course that wing damage is going to be heavily affecting him now. Very tight part of the track here. Aaron's still ahead though, and I think Lucas might have just run out of overtaking opportunities. He might have done that a while ago, but Melvin now he's clipped the barrier, and that means that he loses the podium. But Bad Boy comes across the line and wins on track, and Weisheng is DNF before the line. Weisheng DNF before the line. Oh my god, and we have a double Renault podium now, and it's very odd of what's happened here, but King Enzo P2 and Lewis P3 with Brady P4. I'm sure, of course, the stewards are going to have a long night with everything, if there are any other penalties were undeserved or not, but I wonder what happened to Weisheng there. Did he just get a bit cocky and spin before the line and just... Oh, that must be dreadful for him, because now he's gone all the way back. It seems like he's over the line now, but I don't know if that was penalties that put him down to P10, or if he DNF'd after the line. I really can't. I think he slid across the line, so I think he might have gone down in P10 anyway. So I did get a bit overexcited due to that, but yeah, no. So he's lost all positions. So did he DNF before the line? And maybe he was pushed over the car, because I did see a lot of drivers hit into each other. But what a race from Bad Boy! Started last, finished first. Brilliant for him. It's a double Renault podium, so that has surprised me a lot. As when you saw the start of this race, and Lewis very far back down, and Lewis obviously involved a lot of incidents during the race. Broke spin quite a few times. I would not expect him to be P3 come the end of this race, and Good for Renault's Constructors Championship. So yeah, I'm still confused if it seems like Weisheng DNF before the line and was pushed over it by other drivers, but yeah, so your race winner for the first time, Batboy, finishes P1, and with King Enzo and Lewis rounding out the podium with Brady Pollock P4, Toss My Salad P5, John P6, Aaron P7, CSC Force P8, and Melvin P9, and IZ Leroy was the last finish, although I think Weisheng did count as I guess we can count him as a finisher, but he finished P11, Dusty P12, PMP Mac P13, Avesta P14, and the Norwegian boy P15. But yeah, so last to first, really, they're from Batboy, great race from him. And also that is very frustrating for Aaron and Lucas, as they were really, both of them were on track for an easy podium, they just made a lot of mistakes towards the end. But yeah, I hope you have all enjoyed today's race. Definitely a very exciting one. And be sure to come join us next week in Bahrain Short, a very fast and a very exciting track. It should bring out some great racing and hopefully some more deciding championship fights. Although we are still early on in the season, it's been very good racing, and yeah, hope you have all enjoyed. I've been your commentator, Grummacup, and I'll see you. Hopefully, I'll see you